Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, my weekly YouTube vlog, the show The Loft. Tonight I have a very special guest for you. I have my very good friend, actress, comedian, producer, and booker, Janice Messitte. Welcome to the show, Janice.
Yes, hi James Cipollina. I'm looking at the camera because if I look at you, you're a handsome guy and he's very funny. I'm gonna screw up not being able to see my face. How are you, James?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you, Janice? How are you?
I'm better now that we're all connected up. Thank you.
Great, great. So we know each other from the New York City comedy scene. I've done a bunch of your shows that you have hosted and produced. Before we jump into all that, could you tell me where you were born and raised?
I was born in Queens in Regal Park,
Wow.
and the hospital I was born at is no longer there.
Okay.
And then my parents moved us to the island of Long, as I call Long Island. How are you, Long Island?
Great.
So it wasn't my fault. Don't hold it against me. I don't whine at the diner.
I'm not. So what kind of kid were you, Janice? Were you a creative kid?
Yeah, I'm bougetto. I'm creatively bougie and ghetto. No, I always was creative. I think that's what got me through my life. Since I'm a
Yeah.
little girl, I've been on stage before. My father ran sleepaway camps. My mother worked in the office. The dog came. My brother came. I was in diapers, so I had no choice. Janice, sing the song. Come on, do it. You know the words. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So what got you started in stand-up comedy, Janice?
Aside from people like you that I get to work with, James Cipollina, who's very funny, by the way, and your hair looks awesome.
Thank you.
I haven't seen him. It's been COVID in Manhattan. So
Yeah.
I gotta say, I got started by accident with comedy because
Okay.
I was in musical theater and I was singing and I was doing, my dream was to do Broadway. I did off Broadway. I produced a show, as you know. You've been on my show, One Funny Broad, on
Yeah.
Broadway, Janice Messitte and Friends.
Yes.
But when I was 18, I graduated and I went to college. And after college, I moved to Manhattan.
Okay.
After I moved to Manhattan, I was broke and nothing was doing. I was renting my acting teacher's apartment. And a friend of mine called me up. He said, I just took a comedy class. This is you. This is you. Take this class. You don't even have to write, just show up. I said, okay. If this is another part of performing, what the hell? What's the worst that can happen? I don't get stage fright like normal people in the class, right? So after the first show, it was so much fun for me. And I didn't need to get music. Back in the day, you had to write, have your music transposed and your key and all this crap. And that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I was able to do stand-up. And then years later, the guy who taught my class ended up opening for me.
Wow. Wow. That's really
So
interesting. Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So
How are you?
I'm great. Could you tell me some of the comedy influences that you looked up to?
Can we
Some of those.
talk? Can we talk?
Yeah.
Joan Rivers. God bless. I loved her.
Okay.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Bette Midler, Barbara, Don Rickles is probably one of my favorite. May you rest in peace, Don. That's my kind of comedy.
Okay.
He's the kind of guy after his show, he invites you back to his dressing room when he talks to you. Me, I hug you after the show. Now, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do because James, when I do a show, I gotta hug you when you walk in, take your money. Afterwards, they want to hang out and go to eat and party.
Yeah.
That's the part I love.
Yeah.
So I hope, God, please, James, pray we have live comedy again so I can have you back.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely. So could you tell me some of the actors and actresses you admired growing up?
You got 2 hours? Barbara Streisand was always my favorite.
Okay.
And I got to see her. Unfortunately, I had 4 wisdom teeth pulled. I looked like a chipmunk, and I was walking down Amsterdam Avenue, and she was fresh with her now husband. And I looked at her like this, and I went, good for you, Babs.
Yeah.
Bette Midler, Barbara, who else? The actors. it's so, there's so many. I mean, so many are gone too. I mean, I'm 56, so but probably I watched, and also like I love Denzel, but a lot of these people I was able to meet, so
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. I used to go to the China Club on Monday nights. I had no money, but
Okay.
I'm not a drinker, so all the security knew me. So
Yeah.
I got to meet a lot of famous people. So
Awesome.
when I saw Denzel, he would be like, "Hi, funny girl." Here I was, 225 pounds. God bless. So I said, "Oh, that was cool."
So, what were some of your favorite movies growing up?
Oh God, James, are you serious? There's a lot.
Yeah.
The Way We Were, Funny Girl, Funny Lady. They're all going to be Barbara movies. Come on. I mean, who's
Okay.
going to do Barbara?
Yeah.
Bette Midler, probably one of my favorite movies of all time was Beaches. Because,
Okay.
with laughter comes some tears.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I took care of a girlfriend of mine who was a nurse. I
Mm-hmm.
put her in my building. She was one of my best friends. And I did Beaches every night. She had MS. So every night I'd sing to her. I
Oh
would change
wow.
the pads.
Yeah.
The Pish pads, from Pish. So my blue pads pishing along. Now they're pink pads. That kind of thing. So it was Beaches.
Yeah.
So Beaches is one of my favorite movies. And Willy Wonka, the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, the
Gene
Wizard of
Wilder.
Oz. I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
And
So.
of course, Steven Spielberg. I met his sister one day when I was selling clothes,
Uh-huh.
and she helped write Big. So I said, "Oh my God, your mother must be so proud. She's got two. My
Yeah.
mother's happy if she's got three kids that are breathing and doing okay." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. So, Janice, what got you involved in booking and, producing your own comedy shows? What got you involved in that? What got you started?
um, I had met a few people, and at first it was with somebody, and he was new and blah blah blah. And I said, "You're Greek, I'm Spanish Jew. It's like bagels and baklava." Remember I did that show?
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that, and thank God I'm very good friends with the Broadway Comedy Club. That's like my family.
Yeah.
Al Martin, Dina Martin,
Yes,
the
yes.
whole crew at the Broadway. So I'm blessed that, I started with some of these people. And thank God, when I said I want to do my own show, Al was like, sure. And then what I really loved was when you guys would come once in a while when you get a chance, because, he works all the time, is when you guys would come to my open mic on Mondays.
Yeah.
Because then I'd meet the new talent, I'd meet some of the old talent, and I also didn't charge them because I told them, I don't really say bring a show, but if we all chip in for an audience, I'll do a free open mic. And it's like an acting, it was really like a stand-up class,
Yeah, yeah.
and because they're like, teach a class on Zoom. I'm like, what do you want me to say? Tell your mother to put her pants on and your grandma put her teeth in her mouth in the background? What am I going to say?
Yeah.
Stop peeing on yourself? I don't know how to tell you. Find a light. Know your audience. How am I going to know my audience?
Yeah. Could you tell me some of your favorite venues that you have played?
Uh, Venues. My mother's living room.
Okay.
My mother's dining room in Merrick, by the way, North Merrick.
Okay, great.
Broadway Comedy Club, New York Comedy Club, Caroline's, Dangerfields, my club, the Red Room, One Funny Broad on Broadway, which is at the Broadway Comedy Club. If life opens up, it's 8 o'clock every week. Come visit James Cipollina. He's very funny, and he knows how to work technology. Yay!
Could you tell me when you got started in the industry, Janice? When did you get started? What years were that
Are you
around?
sure this isn't an interview to see if I'm getting impeached? Kidding. You're a doll, James. I started out of the womb. Really, I'm not. It's no joke. I wish I could make that up.
Yeah.
But my mother, God bless her, she always said, "Don't wake up my daughter in the crib. She doesn't wake up happy.
Okay.
Please let her get up."
Yeah.
And she's a night person. She's gonna be a performer. She's up all night. And
Yeah.
that's me. So literally from the womb.
Wow. Could you tell me how this pandemic has changed the way you do comedy?
I can't curse,
No.
but I can tell you
Yes.
it's like sex and someone's watching. That's all I
Okay.
can tell you.
Okay.
By yourself. It's different. I gotta be honest. I think we're doing the best we can with what we have with technology.
Yes,
And
definitely.
I know that my heart I can start to cry. My heart doesn't feel full right now
Yeah.
because I love the audience. I love
Yeah.
the people. I
Yes.
love when somebody comes up to you or me after a show and says, "Hey, thank you for making me laugh. I lost this one. I haven't been out of the house," or "God bless when COVID, I hope is over." We'll be like, "Let's do a show. Let's
Yes.
just do a show and let's do like a marathon show if we have to."
Yeah.
Because I think we all need that love.
Yeah.
Really. And it's been, for me personally, a person who is 56 years old, it's very difficult because I'm not a millennial. So a lot of these people, know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have to learn, and it's a lot of patience. You hear my voice, I get a little verkakkt and verkickled, which
Yes.
means, if you don't know. But it's been a challenge. I really feel I'm not a religious person, but I
Yeah.
just feel like we're almost being tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about it?
Well, I feel the same way as you. I miss thriving off that audience and the interaction between the audience and the comic and stuff like that. I'm definitely missing it. I've done a few posts, on Facebook, just saying I miss my comedy family. Recent, you put up a post, same thing. I miss my comedy family. I miss the audience. On a happier note, Janice, could you tell us some of your upcoming projects or any new projects coming up for you?
I just got casted in a film,
Wow.
called Earth Angel.
Awesome! Wow!
It's
Congratulations.
with Susan Garforth and Timothy Hines is going to be directing, and they're a power couple, and he's amazing. And the script, he called. I got to tell you, James, it's just like when you call me or when you text me and say, "Hey, you want to come on my YouTube? You want to come on my Zoom? Whatever it is."
Uh-huh.
That to me is the best part of the whole gig. When the director called me and was talking to me for an hour just about life, and I'm like, "Can I ask you what'd you call me for?" Like, what'd you ask me? And he said, "I'd like you to do a part in my film."
Wow,
So
that's
because I
awesome.
did an improv in another film, a scene, he said to me, I'm very humble person. I'm from theater. It's different. So for somebody to tell me how much they appreciated my talent and
Yeah.
how much I brought to the scene,
Yeah.
James, when they're clapping and you're killing and,
Yeah.
I hug you after a show, it's like, I gotta make sure your head can get through the door. Not on purpose, just because you're feeling so good,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yes, definitely.
And I've had the privilege to work with you, which is great. So,
Yeah.
these questions he's asking me is because he knows me.
Yes.
I'm just letting the audience know.
Yes.
And
Our
he's
viewers
doing it
should
in
know
such a
that we are
nice
very
way.
good friends. Yes, we are very good friends.
Yeah.
We've known each other for years now. I know you're not a millennial, but where could we find you on social media? Where could we hook up with you?
Definitely
See some of your
look on
stuff.
my Instagram, Janice
Okay.
Messitte.
Okay.
One Funny Broad I just did last night with Jeff Ross. I've been doing stereo with him. And let me tell you, that's been so much fun. And,
Yeah.
I've known Jeff for 30 years. I have a 30-year career. It's really been, I'm so happy you're doing this show.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see him. I wouldn't be able to see you
Yeah.
unless we do FaceTime.
I know. I know.
And you look like you even got funnier.
Well, since you were the host of your own shows, Janice, I have to
I
ask you.
hosted, took the money, hugged them.
You did everything. You did everything. Has anything out of the ordinary ever happened at one of your shows? You have a story for us that was,
Yes.
So let's
Oh my
hear it.
God. You're gonna plots, okay? It was one of my first ones at the Broadway Comedy Club, which is 53rd between 8th and 9th, okay?
Yes.
Come visit us. I'll have James on. You'll come. You'll have fun. Anyway, this kid comes to my open mic. Very nice kid. Reminded me, I swear to you, of Prince. You know, the
Okay.
singer, AKA, otherwise known as a symbol.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't judge anybody because if you judge me by the way I look and the way that you think I am, it's usually totally different, you know? So I put him on stage and I tell everybody the same thing. We'll help him with the audience and you get 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Just like you said, what we're doing and everything.
Yeah.
He gets on stage, does a totally different act, and starts taking off his clothes to music. Now you have to understand.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not a prude, but I was like, I made Maria.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So I ran up on the stage and I said, this is not what we talked about.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was gonna take off any more clothes. He was wearing like a onesie, like a superhero.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, why'd you do that afterwards? I said, Bubby,
Yeah.
you can't do a strip show or sing with the boombox if you didn't clear it because I thought you were going to do Mad Mike or Magic Mike or No Mike. And I got a little fucked and I got nervous. They were going to cancel my show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I was feeling very good that nobody got hurt.
Yeah. No cops came. No cops came.
But James, you know my room holds about 65, right?
Yeah.
So you know, that was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I never did that in my life. You know, when you're on stage, you keep going. God forbid, one night somebody he left the stage to go to the bathroom after his set, and there was nobody on stage. I was like, hey, please, do me a favor, kid. You never leave a stage empty when we're doing stand-up. Okay?
Yeah.
But you gotta go with the flow. It's like life. It happens. You know, what are you gonna do?
Definitely.
You gotta go with the flow. And whatever works best for your show, that's what we do. And thank God I had more people that don't want to take their clothes off. It's just not the right venue.
Yeah. So I have a serious question for you, Janice. Where do you see the future of comedy heading?
Boy, you know, I'm trying, James, I'm really trying, really with all my heart.
Yeah.
And my tuchus.
Yeah.
That live comedy will come back. Now I know in Florida they've been doing some things and they put you behind plexiglass and the whole audience is like spaced out. But that's like the opposite of what we teach people when we're doing live comedy.
Yeah.
Don't see them all over the place. Don't see them in the front, but like don't make a square and see them on the edge of the room.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like I just hope, I really do. I don't think it's ever going to be the same. Like here I was, I'm not happy with my life. I would give my left arm to have what I had again. I know that sounds crazy, but I miss it. I miss performing. You know, I miss my people. I miss, you know, when things don't go right and they're still funny.
Yeah.
You know, or you get a new line because somebody in the front was doing something, or you know, it's Valentine's Day. You're with your girlfriend. Let's celebrate and call you out. You know.
Yeah.
What's your birthday? I don't know. I just hope to God that we have what we had.
Yeah.
I really, listen, I'm not against the Zoom. I'm not against YouTube. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But I can't bring the audience in my house.
Yeah. It's true.
So
it's true.
That's the part I think is the hardest. Because like I like to talk to the crowd. Just like, you know, I mean, I host a lot. I'll middle, I'll headline, but I enjoy feeding off the crowd as well as I know what jokes are going to work and what aren't going to work, right?
Yeah.
So when you see them, it's nice. Like New Year's Eve, okay? Last year, 2 years ago, I did literally an assisted living with housing. And it was very exclusive. I know it doesn't sound it, but it was in Connecticut. It was like very, very exclusive.
Okay.
After the show was over, and I sang a little bit. You know, they were older, so 55. I tried to, you know, It's like my grandma. I don't want to insult you. I don't want to upset you. I don't want to say anything wrong. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So the woman literally came up to me in a wheelchair. She
Okay.
rolled up to me and she said, "Were you looking at me?" Because she was sitting in the middle. "Were you looking at me during the show? Were you talking to me or asking me that question?" And I said, "No, why?" She said, "Because I had 3 strokes and my face don't move, and I loved you."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that taught me, don't judge people
yeah,
by if they're laughing and not laughing, because you never know. Some people aren't even laughers, and they'll go afterwards, "You're funny."
yeah,
So that's what I miss, and
yeah.
I hope someday we get. Don't you? How do you feel about it?
I feel the same way. I feel like I hope we get back to that point again. I hope we're back in the clubs again. I definitely have been missing it a lot. That's why I've been doing some virtual shows. I've been doing the YouTube show.
Yeah.
You know, trying to keep myself busy and stuff like that. But what I would want to ask now, Janice, is what advice would you give a young comic starting out in this industry now? What advice would you give a young person?
What I give every comic: get a car, buy a car.
Okay.
And why I say that,
Okay.
unless you live in Manhattan, it's a pain in the butt. But, and I say it facetiously, but I got news for you. Not everybody takes the steps. Sometimes you got to take the fire escape. So if you get a car, somebody like me who needs a ride to a gig may say, "Hey, you got a car,
Yeah.
you're funny, let me take you.
Yeah.
Come with me, I'll give you stage time. I'll pay for the gas,
Yes.
and I'll throw you maybe a few bucks if I make a few bucks."
Okay.
But at the beginning of my career, I don't care. I'm still that way. It's not I don't care. But there was so many times, you and I, different people of my generation, even today, it's never been about, I hate to say it, I'm not a rich person. I'm rich because I have love in my life. But it's never so much about, you know, the money aspect for me.
Yeah.
It's more about what can I bring to somebody else. If you
Yeah.
needed me to do a fundraiser, most of the time I give back the money. And I'm in a rent stabilized apartment in New York.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, go to your mics and talk to people. And I really, personally, because I'm a performer, I don't like when people, I mean, they say follow up and stuff. Don't shove yourself up my tuchus. Don't shove yourself on my butt. Talk to people, make, connections,
Yeah.
and be humble.
Yeah.
Be humble. The new jacks, be humble, because there are people doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And I feel, and I hate to say this, but when it all comes back to what we had,
Yeah.
our spots that I had may not be my spots anymore because somebody else doesn't want to go out of town who's got more notoriety. You know the word I'm saying.
Notoriety. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something I thought of also, like, so with having my own show on Fridays, at least I'll be able to be like, "Hey kid, just like I always am, if you want to try it out and you want to enjoy it, just get a couple of friends and see if you like it." But
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, James, the one thing I've learned is that my mic is kick ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
People always tell me, "Jan, and you know what really has helped me also get through this?
What is that?
No live performing and COVID.
Yeah.
The kids from my comedy open mic. I call everybody kids. They could be 80.
Yeah.
And the kids from my show that I put on, because I get them from the open mic, and they do my show. And those kids call me
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
"And Janny, I know, I just checking up on you, because, I'm not like Miss Social Media. Like, I have to force myself because of the time zone. Like, I wasn't from that.
Yeah.
So I get a little nervous, and I have someone help me and pray. So the kids today, if you could do computer stuff, some of these kids may have a better shot, but you may not be so funny. And you don't hear them unless you put them on the screen and you put the audio on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Difference.
Yeah.
It's a difference. It just is, because we're waiting for the love And it's like, keep going. I can't say how you doing. You know, you look like a plumber, you look like a doctor. And most of the time I was right.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was Cleo. Like, oh, I guessed it, you know?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Janice, for doing my show, for stopping by and talking to us. I got to pick your brain a little bit. Guys, you can find Janice Messitte on Instagram, and you can also find her on Facebook. You could also follow me on Instagram. Also, remember to hit like and hit subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. Again, thank you so much, Janice Messitte, for coming by the Loft.
Cipollina, you're a doll, and he's very funny. Please follow him. He's awesome. He's a good person, too.
Great. Thank you, Janice. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Having me.
All right. Take care. I will see you
wasn't
next
too much
time.
of a pain in the butt.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.